United Way's focus on education and financial stability can impact lives for years to come.
And when it comes to a person's health, no measure of planning can prepare you for the worst.
But thanks to volunteers and United Way programs, people right here in the Triad are being given a second chance at life. Veronica White shows us how.
This is the way you make ties.
$2,000 a month for critical medication, even with insurance. That's a price Pam Durham, a retail worker and mother, couldn't afford. Pam was diagnosed with leukemia last fall, and because it was caught early, doctors said she could survive with medication that she would have to take for the rest of her life. But her family couldn't afford it until the United Way of Davie County, a group that she has donated to in the past, stepped in so that she could pay a reasonable $25 a month and get back to her life, for which she is grateful every day.
A lot of people think, well, you know, that $1 a week that I give, it doesn't matter, but it matters, truly. I mean, I'm living proof, literally living proof.
Pam says she feels stronger and healthier than she did before her diagnosis, and she's thankful to the community, to people who don't even know her, who have made donations that have saved her life.
They pray for you as much.
But it's not just financial support that the United Way offers, just as important, emotional and mental support. That's what Sisters Wendy Bobo and Sandra Davis say they are the most thankful for at Carolina Cancer Services in Davidson County.
Well, we forget the cancer stuff. We forget it at the door. You know, when we come in, we want to have fun and be uplifting to everybody. And so when I came once or twice with her, and I guess I got jealous because I heard all the fun that they were having. So I decided to come, and I felt better because I felt like people were going through the same thing I was going through.
Both breast cancer survivors, they still come to the support group years later to help others. Although Cancer Services offers medication assistance and help with day-to-day necessities, it is the group talks that they say bring people in.
You all supporting one another and letting you know that, keep the hope, faith, courage.
Exactly.
And you will survive.
The United Way of Alamance County spends close to $300,000 a year on health assistance programs.
If you're healthy, you can be successful.
Its president, Heidi Norwich, says that means a better community. Here are just some examples of how the United Way helps. This looks like a cozy kids' room, and this looks like a pediatrician's office. But this is where kids who have suffered from sexual assault, abuse, and neglect come to get help.
I can't imagine Crossroads without United Way.
Crossroads Sexual Assault Response and Resource Center helped 1,500 people in Alamance and Caswell counties last year, 600 of them kids. Without the United Way, they wouldn't have a 24-hour hotline, 10 staff members, and tons of volunteers. In fact, Evans says the United Way of Alamance County contributes to 25% of its budget.
Last year, we had 100 families at our shelter.
This shelter supports domestic violence victims. Family Abuse Services helps victims navigate the courts through e-filing and provides support in other ways so they feel safe. No United Way, no help for victims.
And we wouldn't be able to have trained court advocates in here every day helping people file protective orders. We wouldn't be able to have monitors come in to do the supervised visitation. I wouldn't be able to go out into the community and give presentations about domestic violence, teaching people what the warning signs are.
In 2013, this service took more than 1,000 crisis calls in Alamance County.
Thank you so much.
Friendship Adult Day Services is a place filled with warm hearts. People with disabilities are provided a ride to this location to be together. They serve food, play games, and exercise, anything that makes them feel like they're a part of something. Another great example of the United Way's help.
United Way programs also don't shy away from the tough subjects, making sure people dealing with issues that are sometimes looked down upon by society get the same help as everyone else. One such place is the Positive Wellness Alliance in Lexington. It offers a variety of assistance to men and women living with HIV, from getting medical help to setting up emergency funds to pay bills. But perhaps its most valuable endeavor is being a pillar of support, a place where people can turn to simply talk.
I don't have to be afraid that they're not going to be my friend, or they're not going to care about me or like me or maybe even love me a little bit, I don't have to be afraid that any of that's going to be took from me because they know I have HIV.
Thank you for your hug. We are a lifeline, and I also like to think of us as a safety net for those folks.
that don't have any place else to go.
When you give money or your time to the United Way, you can help provide a meal to people who may otherwise not have one. But the focus on health isn't just physical. As Kenny Beck shows us from Rockingham County, the meal isn't the most important thing that Meals on Wheels does.
Jaylene Smith spends most of her days like this, in a small two-bedroom home in Stoneville, reading, which in itself is an accomplishment. Jaylene is blind in her right eye. She no longer drives. On top of that, she has arthritis, kidney problems, and she's been a widow for the last 16 years. She is alone, at least most of the time.
When I started falling, I was getting so I wasn't able to be cooking, so it was delightful to have some food coming in. I didn't have to do the cooking.
Since 2006, Jaylene has received Meals on Wheels once a day, 5 days a week at about 10:30 in the morning. On this day, volunteer Blue Pretty is doing the drop-off.
Yeah, you been doing okay?
I'm doing fine, thank you.
Good, good. Ready for the coal?
I don't have to be.
It's ready. It's here. It's here.
As you might have guessed, he's delivered to her dozens of times.
You know, I don't know her that well as far as being a family, but she seems almost like a family, you know.
It's not only that I have the food, it's that I get to see the people, because sometimes they're the only people I see all day.
The Meals on Wheels program is under the umbrella of Aging, Disability, and Transit Services of Rockingham County, which gets about 1/6 of its funding from the United Way. In October, four-time NASCAR Sprint Cup champion Jeff Gordon delivered its 1 millionth meal. Executive Director Lee Covington says about 300 county residents receive Meals on Wheels.
Nationally, now about 10,000 people every day are hitting retirement age. This is the baby boom generation that's retiring. And so those folks that potentially need the services that we provide, in the next 20 years, that number is going to double.
In order to be eligible for the program, the recipient has to be at least 60 years old, homebound, and not have anyone available to prepare or serve their midday meal. In most instances, there is no charge.
This program is so much more than just a meal.
God doesn't work that way. He planned his son's introduction using a scruffy Bohemian prophet called John the Baptist.
As we showed you, most of the time Jaylene likes to read, and most of the time she likes to read the Bible or something about Christianity. She is 91 years old, has lived in this home since the late 50s, and as far as she's concerned, Meals on Wheels volunteers like Blue Pretty are a godsend.
I'm happy. I'm happy in the Lord. I'm happy with people. I love people, and I just love my life.
You can learn more about the Meals on Wheels program in Rockingham County by going to WXII12.com. And while you're there, make sure to pledge your hours for 2015.
Sweet peas.
Inside the Renaissance Road Church in High Point, there are busy hands at work. They are the weathered hands of experience and the helping hands of hope.
Pork chop barbecue sauce.
These are the hands of Jimmy Epps. Every week, he collects food from the Second Harvest Food Bank and local grocery stores and brings it here to his church's pantry.
Corn.
And every Saturday from 11 to 1, the pantry gives out food to families that are struggling to put meals on the table. And they serve everyone from everywhere.
Whether you're unemployed, whether you're disabled, whether you're working, here at the church we feel that everyone, even those that's working, that, you know, money's tight, and so we are available for everyone, and it's open to everybody. Whether you live in High Point, Greensboro, Winston, it really doesn't matter.
Jimmy is usually joined by his good friend Charles Williams, who says he's inspired by Jimmy's giving spirit.
Jimmy has got a servant's heart. He's a gentle spirit. And he's a gift from God. He's been a blessing to me, really has.
Jimmy and Charles take great care to arrange the shelves in orderly fashion so that when families arrive, they can get their food quickly without waiting in a long line. And it's the look on their faces that makes it so rewarding.
Seeing the gratitude on the people's faces, they don't even have to say thank you. You can look at their faces, and you can tell that they are very appreciative of it. You hand them a bag of food, and you can just see their eyes light up. Okay, I've got enough food to last me for a few days.
It makes me joyful. makes me happy and everything. So it makes me feel good that I'm able to help someone else. And I'm giving back just like Jimmy is.
Jimmy retired from the legal field 4 years ago, and at age 65, says he's busier than ever.
Absolutely. I told several people, I've got to find me a job so I can rest some.
And he stays busy. In addition to stocking the pantry, he also provides rides for people to get them to places like doctor's appointments. So where does this giving heart come from? Why does he live united? Jimmy says it's from his childhood days, growing up in Roxborough.
Years and years ago, I can remember, this is while I was still at home, that if someone in the community, if they were sick and needed something, they would always get word to my daddy, and he would get them whatever they needed. And so that has stuck with me down through the years that, you know, if he could get out and help those in the community, then I have that opportunity now, and I really look forward to this each week.
The Renaissance Road Church Pantry serves as many as 150 hungry people a week.
We know that there's a whole lot more out there that could use some food also.
But as long as there is a need, the door here will always be open. And the helping hands of Jimmy Epps will always be there to serve.
Did good again this week.
A young mother of 4, a survivor of physical and verbal abuse, shares her emotional story. The terrible things that happened, how she almost gave up on herself and her children, plus the United Way agency she believes may have saved her life. I'm Margaret Johnson. I'll have the story coming up.